Trent Baits this year, getting out a lot more with their team. Well, they've never really done it before, and they asked me if I'd do a piece and sort of run through my style of fishing, what I get out of fishing, etc. So I've agreed to do it, and that's where we're sort of at now. My fishing changed a lot probably 7 years ago when my daughter was born. It sort of put a different perspective on why I was going, and also the times that I would go. Normally I'd fish all the time, as much as I could get. I'd get out and do a bit, but it changed really when I had her, because I wanted to make the most of my time, and I wanted to obviously make the most of my family time. And to be fair, I was probably wasting a lot of time on the bank when conditions weren't right, the fish weren't at their peak weights and stuff. So I decided to break my fishing down into spring. I would go a lot, as much as possible, put as much effort in as I could, but with that came a lot of change in my bait prep and stuff, because I had to make the most of that time on the bank. It had to be right, you know, the fish were at their peak. Generally the waters I fish, I've got a target fish that I'm after, and that's the style that I like to do. You know, I like to chase down that one fish and try and put all the little jigsaw pieces together to catch that one fish at the end of it and sort of complete the jigsaw. With having the limited time of spring, the spring window, I don't want to be losing fish, so I make sure my rigs and my hooks and everything are like what I've got ultra confidence in. I won't change too much there. And my bait, similar, you know, I fit my bait to the venue I'm fishing, and I'll prep my hook baits. I start prepping my hook baits probably in January. And the way I do that, I buy a pot of the shrimp in the white airball pop-ups, and I get a pot of the pink shrimp in the airball pop-ups, and then I put different glazes and stuff on them and just keep shaking them up over a couple of months. Salts go in there as well. Towards the end of the prep, sometimes I put a little bit of GLM in, depending on which I'm using. Recent years, pink's been the one for me. Pink's definitely a standout colour, and especially the pink that Trent do, it's very vivid. It's perfect really for the spring fishing, and I've had so many fish on them pink pop-ups. I can remember last year when I come on this particular venue, it just took over. The pinks basically, I started, as most people do nowadays, yellow, white, pink generally in the spring, and I'd start one on each, and it was always the pink rod. And at first I thought it was the area, so I'd switch them up. It's pink, and then it was too much of a coincidence in the end. Everything went on pink. Pink pop-ups went right down. I was on the phone to Dan, I was like, Dan, I need more pink pop-ups, and it went a bit mad last spring. I had so many fish out of here on them pink baits that they were like, you know, I treated them like little bits of gold. Every one of them pink pop-ups was so special to me, and it was crazy, the amount of fish I had on them. One thing that, you know, I get a lot of stick for from the rest of the team and from Dan and Dean as well at Trent Baits is I do change my bait a lot, but I change it to the time of year and also to what I think them fish want, or what I'm seeing other anglers putting in the water, or past captures. If a certain fish that I'm after comes out on bright nut baits, or, you know, yellow ones, or, you know, I'll change my bait accordingly just to try and give me that extra edge to make the most of the time when I'm there, because I want that one fish. So if that one fish consistently comes out on a nut bait, I'm not going to sit there fishing on the shrimp or the liver or the SAS. I'm going to go in with the SSD or the active nut. So I do alter my bait accordingly to the water and the fish I'm after, and the time of year as well. A lot of my spring fishing in the past has been using the SSD, because it's like a high energy bait, and it seems, I think they get a buzz off it, so you can use it really sparingly. You can put it out in a stick and sort of scatter them around the sort of zone you fish in and fish singles amongst it, and I think every one of them baits is like, whoa, I want another one, and I think that worked really well for years gone by. So yeah, that's basically how I fish. I fish spring hard, summer's a bit of fun, a few hours in the evenings, autumn again it's hard, winter always go on a social with the lads, but again I don't fish much, it's left for the family time. I tend to pick my venues with fishing that I want to catch. I'll have photos on my phone of certain fish, and then that's my next mission, and I'm always looking at the next mission, and you know, I complete one, and then there's always another fish that I want to go on to next, and then that's my next one, and then that's how I tend to run through my fishing. And all I'll do is the particular fish that I'm after in this venue now, I just keep looking at pictures, going over past captures in my head and just waiting to catch that fish. But there is another fish in the background always, and that's on a different venue, and that's going to be my next target.